Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Carrie Sparks with Pioneer Title, your Arizona title gal. I can be reached at 602-715-5704. I'm never too busy to help you out. And on Tuesdays, we do a spot called Ask the Underwriter with Brian Reeves from Barrett Financial here in Gilbert. And I'm excited to talk about some of the things that are coming up inside of the lending world. I want to just take a moment and express my gratitude because I posted a video and I posted a picture yesterday on my personal page as well as the professional page talking about my survival of cancer. And the messages and the comments and all the feedback were really, really heartwarming. And I got some comments that I will forever appreciate. So I just want to let you know that I really appreciate it when you give us feedback, whether, about anything really. The conversation is really welcome. And so we're going to talk about, branch off on that optimism piece and segue over to Brian and talk about some things that are going on inside the lending world, because there's some changes that are coming. And Brian, if you could give your contact information, licensing information, please.
Yes, absolutely. And that is amazing, Carrie, that to hear that story of fighting and battling cancer. That is just, I cannot imagine. That's tough. That's amazing.
Well, you know what? I am blessed, and some people don't understand where I come from with my optimism, but having being shook to the core 22 years ago, I think it either builds you up or breaks you down, and I've chosen it as a build-up moment. And likewise, going through the last 5 months, I talked yesterday about it being a crisis for almost everybody, and we're going through it together, unlike I was kind of on my own with it. But we are in a place where we feel a sense of crisis. And I mentioned yesterday how I've been journaling through this whole crisis, just like I journaled when I was going through my cancer therapy and stuff. And I keep it, like I said yesterday, literally my journal is next to me all the time, writing everything down, thoughts and all that kind of stuff. But please share a little bit about you. And Lynn, I know that you wanted to talk about something that's come down the pipeline that's going to be put into place. I believe it's the first part of September.
Yeah, so it's, my name is Brian Reed with Barrett Financial, and MLS number is 694-300. Phone number 602-741-4801. Assuming you're referring to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's loan level price adjustment that was just announced.
And that someone who doesn't live inside of our industry on a daily basis and is just involved in a simple transaction from time to time probably doesn't understand exactly how that breaks down for the regular consumer.
So in the pricing world, it's actually pretty, it's simple, but it's also kind of complex. So a lot of times what we see in terms of the bond rate or the Fed rate or treasury bonds, we're like, who do we follow? Where do rates go? How are they indicative of what I'm going to be looking for in the market? And basically over time, rates have always historically followed the 10-year treasury. And the 10-year treasury, pretty much we take the best case scenario of a customer. Let's say they're 740 FICO, 20% down conventional. Typically, what rates have always ran close to is about 170 basis points on top of the 10-year treasury. That's usually what the rate is on a conventional loan. So what has happened is we've noticed in the past weeks with all of the volume and everybody refinancing and with the bond market trending down, what has happened is we haven't seen a lot of rates follow that 10-year treasury. So every bank has a different philosophy. So raise the rates, slow down production, because there's that constant battle of service versus rates. You drop too much in rate, then you get everybody at the door wanting to get in, and then now your service levels suffer. So banks have always kind of played with these rates depending on production and being able to offer service. And with rates, with a lot of the banks not following exactly what the 10-year Treasury's been doing, Fannie and Freddie just basically said, well, that's a larger profit spread at the banks right now, so we're going to tax the banks 50 basis points for every loan delivered in September on. So basically what's happening is they're just saying, hey, the banks are making more money. We don't want to be in conservatorship. We want we want basically money paid back, and this is where we're going to go with it. So I think what we're going to see, though, is even though we haven't had much movement in with rates following the 10-year Treasury, we know that that spread was already there to take advantage of, right? So I don't know if this is going to have a large impact or big of an impact as people think it's going to, because now we're starting to find, or now just today, even moving forward, probably next week, we're already starting to see the rates connecting with the 10-year Treasury. So it's the jury's out on this one. Like, I mean, yeah, a lot of people are starting to, like, we noticed the banks the last few days kind of did a knee-jerk reaction on conventional refinances, whether cash out or rate and term, and they started applying those loan level price adjustments. But some banks aren't going to already in place those loan level price adjustments on rates that already are padded already. So I think there's room for negotiation and movement on both sides to where it's still going to be advantageous to still refinance, and we're still going to see historically low rates.
Have you heard anything about a fee that they're going to start adding to refinances next month?
The loan level price adjustment is the fee that I'm referencing. So it's a 50 basis point fee. So it's basically a half of a point that will enact starting September.
Okay.
But it's on active loans that are already in the pipeline. It's when they're sold to them. So loans that are getting put on right now are going to be obviously sold to them in September, or these are going to be placed in September and they're going to be closed. They're putting a taxation or a fee on there of 50 basis points.
Got it.
So, but it's going to be interesting to see how this goes, because I think we'll know more tomorrow, because the Fed's going to speak on this a little bit tomorrow. So we'll be more in tune as to what the market's going to do. But this is kind of this is just an interesting time right now because rates are so low. I mean, there's so many companies out there trying to ramp up and hire. I mean, I get calls all the time from recruiters, at least 4 or 5 a day, you know, for underwriters, processors, closers, like everybody's trying to staff up to deal with this production. I mean, we all know that the rates are historically going to be in a good position. And 50 basis points, you know, 50 basis points where it converts over on the rate side, it's not as big as people think. We're not talking we're not talking half to an interest rate, 50 basis points. So this may make a difference of maybe an eighth in rate, right? So, you know, we've already seen rates come down almost a full, you know, percent and a half in most categories. So what we're really talking about here is maybe 0.125 in interest rate. So it's not that big of a difference. It's not going to be that huge of an impact. I don't see it that way, at least.
Okay. So it won't affect the buying power so much if someone's going out and looking to purchase a property then right now. Thank you. I know you are really busy. From one of my customers said that there's the equivalent about 2 years of mortgage production going through right now through the pipeline. So it's an interesting time in our world.
It is definitely crazy.
But we're here, both of us, to provide superior service. So, Brian, do you want to give your contact information one last time?
Yes, it's Brian Reeve, Barrett Financial, 602-741-4801.
And I am Carrie Sparks with Pioneer Title, your Arizona title gal, and appreciate all my customers out there and everyone who watches. I just want to express my gratitude. And again, stay optimistic about things. And thank you for all the comments yesterday. I appreciate each and every one of you. So thanks and have a really great rest of your Tuesday. And I'll let you get back to business there, Brian. So
Thank you, Carrie. You have a good one.
you too. Bye bye.